So, the starter went in my excavator again. I think what it is, I think this time it's the solenoid. I don't think the starter itself is dead. But I don't want to go through all the crap of taking the entire machine apart again, so this time I'm going to cut a hole through the bulkhead. Because unfortunately what we have going on here is you can't reach the starter from this side of the motor. Let me give you a quick look here. I don't know what you can see here, but everything here is stuff that really doesn't matter to me right now, because the starter's the problem. And the starter can only be accessed from back behind here, which I don't think you're going to be able to see anything back behind there, but there's the bulkhead, and it's very tight back there. Let me see if I can get a different shot of this somehow. Okay, so we're actually behind the bulkhead now, and well, I can see the injectors. I don't know if I can get in far enough to see the actual starter. Yeah. Oh hey, there we go. There's the starter right there. Unfortunately, you can see that it's very close, and there's no way to actually get to it. This side here, we've got the radiator. Also very tight. No space here whatsoever. Apparently they were never planning on anybody doing anything creative in here at all. Let's see, a little farther down. Yeah. So there's the starter. Anyways, let's see, can you see my finger? Yep, right down there. So the only way to get to that is going to be to cut a hole through the bulkhead. So I'm going to cut through the bulkhead. So after flipping the seats forward and then cutting through here. Okay. Put a new one of these on. Unfortunately, the one that I had on there, you can see it's got a little bit small. Ground off a little bit. So I'll put a new one on. Hopefully that'll this work a little bit better. Got a thin cutoff wheel because I want to be able to get through the steel on the back of that thing without having to make too giant of a gap. I want to be able to finish the rest of the cut with a sawzall. Okay, that's in there. This has got a little beveled edge for the thicker ones, so the beveled edge goes out when you're doing the thin discs. Because there's a beveled edge on the inside to hold it, so that way this can't go this way, which would be very bad. Push the button in there to hold it. That's nice and snug. Let me get the cord. Put her in. And that works. That's a good start. We add some insult to injury here. All of the video that I shot cutting the hole through the bulkhead got destroyed because my iPhone decided to glitch up. So I figure I'll show you now that I figured out what's going on here. Move the seat up. So I ended up cutting a hole. I used the cutting wheel to cut across here, cut straight up and down, and then I used a sawzall to very carefully cut the edge out. And once I cut this area here out, I discovered that I did not quite have enough space to get inside where the starter is, which is right down here. You can see those two bolts, because I've since taken it out and brought it to the shop. So I had to cut out another piece. If I can get it released here. Holy cow, that thing's heavy. So that's my piece that goes here. And then the other piece is over here. So I'm gonna end up welding these pieces back in again. Probably put a hinge on them or something like that. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Lots of metal flying around, and I had to be careful because move this over. You've got a lot of things in here that are right next to the edge of the bulkhead here. So if you cut too far out, you're going to ruin a lot of stuff that's going to be really expensive. But the piece that I had here when I first cut this didn't quite have enough to get the starter out through this hole. Didn't leave me enough room. So I cut this, fits out fine through here. Now I got the starter being rebuilt. Unfortunately, I also could not reach that bottom bolt. So in order to get to the bottom bolt, I had to crawl underneath the machine and then look up through there, which was, I don't know if you can see it or not from in there, really not that much space to play with in there. It was not as much fun as one might think. So hopefully I'll get that repaired and we'll see how that goes.